Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright, so this is going to be a pick-a-pile. Oh, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, liked, and commented. You're really helping to get this channel growing. And to all those who follow me on the Bridget Rao channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are less than 50 away from 10,000 subscribers over there. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to all of you. This is going to be a pick-a-pile reading to find out like what your aura says about you. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going to all come through, but we have Blue Apatite for pile 1, Danbarite for pile 2, and then Labradorite for pile 3. I wanted to pick it up and show you its flash. So you can choose your pile. If you need more time, you can pause, kind of just take a deep breath and breathe. If you find that the pile that you picked doesn't really fit you, if it doesn't resonate with your situation, then you can choose a different one. And you can choose more than one too. Just go to what feels appropriate for you. There may be messages in all 3 for you. So just whatever feels like you need to hear, let yourself hear it. So we're going to start pile number 1 at 117. And we're going to see what your aura, your soul energy says about you. So I have Dancing Prayer and Out Beyond Orion first of all. And I feel like these energies speak to the fact that you're likely a starseed. So the Out Beyond Orion energy for me automatically like screams to me that there could be starseed energy with you. And then the Dancing Prayer, it also, again, it has like this spiral. So I feel like your aura, when people see you, there's something about you that just kind of spirals out and touches them. And I feel like you're integrating energies down from above. So you have the spiral above you, and then you have the spiral below you. And so it's like that's what the star seeds do, is they receive energy and frequency downloads from the stars, and they bring it down to the earth, and they ground it here to help heal the collective consciousness and to help heal Gaia. But what happens with this usually is that this spiral energy that you ripple out may attract people towards you, and they just feel comfortable in your presence. I also feel there's a lot of creative energy. So your sacral energy center is powerful. You may attract a lot of people because they just feel like you'd be a good friend, or they may just assume that you work at a store that they're at, and they ask you like where something is, or people ask your opinion, or they just feel comfortable to start talking to you about their private lives, things that you wouldn't normally just start telling a random stranger. I feel like this may happen to you occasionally, and it's because of the aura that you have. It's like you ripple out this beautiful energy that just makes people feel safe. They wanna come into your energy field, and they just assume you know something because your soul knows. It's like you have a very ancient energy, and there's a lot of wisdom inside of your soul. So people just come close to you. They feel safe with you. They feel like you may have the answers to their questions, whether it's like, hey, do you know where the bread is? Or something a little bit more deep, but your energy is powerful and inviting. And then we have number 32, Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. So I feel like you are an efficient person, and so that may be another reason why people are attracted towards you, to kind of help them. It's like you just have this presence where people just assume that you're going to get the answer, but this is divine energy. This is like you are very efficient in what you do. Your friends and family members may ask you for advice because it's like whatever you set out to do, you kind of just figure it out and you do it. You're not one of those people that needs a whole lot of assistance from outside sources. It's like you just know. You just know what to do, and you're efficient when you do things. You don't do things half-ass. You're creative about it, so you don't copy other people either. You just have your own approach to doing stuff, and that's why people may come to you for advice as well, because they just know that there's something, like you'll see something different than what they see. And again, there's a very inviting energy about you. It's like you're here to anchor this light down to the earth and kind of ripple it out. And I am seeing earth healing here with these children. You may identify or kind of have similar energy or frequency about you within your aura that holds some of that rainbow child, crystal child, indigo child energy. And if it's not you specifically, you may actually give birth to one of those children. So you may have one of those children, or you may have one in the future. Because I see this one up here, and it's like it's in spirit form. And then we have this one down in the physical. So this may be like a representation of you, and then you working with your inner child as you grow to help heal, because I feel like you've been through a lot. You could also identify with the blue ray energy, which is a more rare energy, but you're definitely a starseed, so usually you'll like have the traits that go along with those characteristics. If you Google like, the crystal children characteristics or traits of a blue ray starseed, just see what resonates with you. I feel like because there's going to be multiple of you tuning into this, but I feel like that's something that you carry. But you're here to help heal Gaia, so you're here to help heal Earth, and that's what starseeds and these children do. And if you add up the 38, that's 11. So it's an awakening number. And over here we have 32, which is a 5. So it's like you're here to awaken and change the collective consciousness. And you may be giving birth, or you may have been the birth that is assisting in this. But I feel like your inner child may have gone through some stuff. So those who identify with the blue ray energy, you may have had some not so great stuff in your upbringing. There could have been like people with codependent issues or addictions. You may have even had some yourself. And at an early age, I feel like you were tuned into all of this. Like you had these gifts, you may have seen things or just known things. But then as you grew up, I feel like that light that you shine may have attracted some not so nice stuff. You have the devil and the 9 of swords. So this is like karmic energy with the devil, and the 9 of swords is anxiety. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, your childhood was horrible. But I feel like because of that bright light that you emit, sometimes you attract people to you that are trying to kind of take it from you. They may want to just be in your presence. It's like it doesn't seem like they're taking anything, but they're taking your time and your energy. And that's a valuable thing. And I feel like you pick up other people's anxieties, you pick up other people's crap, and you take it on for them. And that's why these people come back to you time and time again. And again, for some of you, you may have had that happen as a childhood. You may have incarnated into somewhat of a dysfunctional situation, or as you grew up, you were presented dysfunctional people because they were drawn to your light so that you could help heal them. But the problem is, I feel like sometimes you're spiraling out and you're giving away all your light, and then you have to go in and hide and recoup after you spend time with people, because it's draining to you, and you feel the collective's anxiety. So if something big happens within the collective, you may get sick. So pay attention to that too. Like pay attention to if you don't feel well, you get a headache, or your stomach is upset, go look at the news and just see. Like I wouldn't watch it because it will trigger you further, because you are an empath. Whatever you see, you are giving your energy to it. But you may find that something big happened that, the world is focused on when you're having those big energy fluctuations, which is an indication that you need to protect yourself. And if you feel like you need to go home at the end of the day and kind of just hide in a little bubble away from people, and I feel like you may just not want to talk to people sometimes, like even when they're right there in your face, it's like you just don't want to say anything. And then maybe when they get there, you start to your energy starts spiraling. It's like, I feel like sometimes you may have a little bit of anxiety about going places or doing things with people, because afterwards you're so drained. But during it, you're like giving and giving and giving it. So it's like you don't want to do it, but then when you start to talk to people, it starts to grow and your energy's up. But then you go home and you're depleted. You have to go hide and recoup for a few days. So that's an indication to, need to protect yourself, cut your cords, help yourself to be in that energy of protection. Use different crystals, open the vortex. I have a protection video that I recorded a little while back. It's not too far down, and it's all about how to open the vortex, how to clear your space, and things like that. The vortex can help you to transmute out other energy from inside your energy, and the outside energy won't be allowed in unless it's at the vibration of love. And if you cut cords and you start, setting healthy boundaries, and you say no to these things that are going to drain you, you may find a big shift in your life. You may have already gone through this at some point. You may have stood up for yourself and said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And you may have lost a lot of people, or you may lose people throughout your lifetime, because you're basically just clearing up karmic contracts. You're bringing justice to things that were experienced within past lives through the ancestral lineage. You chose this bloodline that you incarnated into for a reason, and everything that you've signed up to do had a purpose. But part of the purpose was to, get you into this place of justice so that you could free yourself from any karmic contracts. And that may be, again, a reason why you want to just kind of disengage. I feel like people that are close to you, you may feel more comfortable kind of just like being silent near them. But then when there's people that you're just kind of acquaintances with or friendly with, it's like you feel you need to kind of give more. So you end up giving away too much. And I think that's something that you need to work on, or something that may have already kind of been in your transpired in your life, or you may be going through it now. You may be getting to this point where you're like, I'd rather just hide. But that's not really a way of living. So I want you to make sure that if you protect yourself and you set these healthy boundaries, you'll get rid of the people who are doing that to you, and you'll attract the appropriate people to you. Our soul family, our soul tribe can shift over time, but I do feel that for you, your aura may be attracting those who are going to just take from you. So setting those healthy boundaries can help you to attract the right people and kind of push out anything that's not serving you. But you just have this beautiful presence, this beautiful light, and unfortunately that can attract the good and the bad. So start setting the intention as well that you're transmuting anything out, and you're attracting the right vibration in. We also have the Page of Wands. So again, you're very creative. Your sacral energy is strong. Your relationships probably are strong. You may feel guilty saying no to some of those people, or having any boundaries up with people. But once you start to do it and you realize the shift in your own energy and how you feel, you'll start to realize how empowering it is. But I do feel like you're a creative person, or at least your aura says this about you. I bet you if you picked up a paintbrush or a marker or whatever you really wanted to do, you could do it, whether it was digitally or by hand. I feel like you just have this creative eye. Your abilities kind of go wide. You may be able to write poems, you may be able to draw. There's something that you can do that's beautiful and creative, and it's innately inside of you. And down here we have all these little foxes, and I feel like these are the tricksters that have been in your life, and it's time for you to empower yourself up, get creative, rise up, and not let any of these tricksters take you off your pedestal, because I feel like that can be something too. People may get jealous of you because you are so bright, and no matter what happens, it's like you still rise up, you still have this efficiency about you that's like, yeah, that sucked, but I'm not going to let it take me down. It's like you may go into a hermit mode for a little bit, but you always come back out shining a little bit brighter. And no matter what people try to do to you, you always overcome it. So stay in that creative flow and keep moving. But with the water, you have water, beauty, and vision here. And I feel like you may have a lot of blue in your aura. So again, you may resonate with that term, blue ray souls. It's like called the forgotten ray. They're not talked about as much as the indigos or the crystal children, because they're not in your face like the indigos. They're not so like out there, like, changing shit like in front of your face. These are the people that kind of go into dysfunctional systems. They see the dysfunction and they fix it because of the efficiency that they have. So whether it's a dysfunction in a family, dysfunction in a job, whatever it is, wherever you go, that's kind of what you're doing. But you also have water here, and you have a lot of water, like watery energy coming through, and again, sacral energy. So there's this creative spirit about you and your emotions. It's like you get creative with the way that you approach things with your emotional body. You may be on a sacred journey in regards to love, because these can indicate twin flames, soulmates, things like that, because they mate for life. So there's maybe somebody here that you have a deep emotional connection to. And with the West, that is the direction that connects to our sacral, connects to the energy of the jaguar, which connects to our sacral. And again, jaguar will come into the relationships to eat away any energetic debris or karma energy that isn't serving. So I do feel that your soul, your energy, your aura, attracts these things to you, but you also have an aura that is like bright, and it's probably attracting a certain individual to you. If you haven't already met them, I'm sure you probably have. You probably know, like in the back of your mind, who this person is. And if you haven't met them yet, you'll know when you do. Your auras are gonna just like ripple out to each other. I feel like you already do intertwine with each other, but you may be stationed in different places right now because you're helping to heal the earth. So this is like the other aspect of you in regards to duality. But your aura, in your energy, again, you just rise up through the darkness like the lotus. You come out of the mud shining brighter and brighter and brighter. And I feel like you just have this thing where there's a lot of stuff connected to relationships and karmic contracts that need to be healed. And your like role and your mission here is more creative than anything. You see the sacral chakras lit up here, sacral energy here. Like this is what you've got. You're creative, and you need to get creative in how you start to align with your earth healing mission. I feel like whatever you set out to do. You could be a reader, you could be a healer, you could be a channel, you could be a painter, a poet, whatever it is, but your energy, your vibration, your frequency, whatever word you write, whatever line you paint, whatever thing you speak, or wherever you go, you're actually already doing this healing work. But you can get creative in how you do it. Like you could, make an income from it. I feel like you need to get more in alignment with your divine mission and purpose. So this could be some way of telling you it's time to really rise through the darkness, because everything that you've experienced can help others. So you can help to assist others in rising out of their own mud and their darkness and the relationships and setting healthy boundaries and things like that. Whatever we go through, it assists us into helping others, and you have that energy already set up to help others, but you could do it with boundaries and to protect and to show people a new perspective, especially empaths, because empaths feel guilty about saying no. They feel badly when things aren't okay for others. So I do feel like you have a higher perspective inside of you that has come out of the efficiency of healing all of the contracts and all of the experiences, the lessons that you've learned in this lifetime. But your aura speaks this too. It's like, again, with the energy of the hawk, it's like you have a higher perspective. So people may come to you for advice. They know that you're going to look at things through a different set of eyes. You're not going to just look at one side of the story. You'll give an honest opinion. But you'll do it with love because you have that empathy inside of you. And again, I feel like you could really help to shift the collective consciousness by sharing your gifts, your creative gifts with the world. Like if you have some sort of ability, you need to get it online and start putting it out there and sharing it with other people. Even if you just created a Facebook page where you just did like little something, like you're creative. There's something inside of you that's willing to come out. So start opening your eyes and seeing what it is if you don't already know. Oh, and look at you have divine animals and soul name. And this is number 22 and this is 1. So again, we have awakening energy. But 22 is like things are starting to manifest. So also connected to partnerships. But I feel like your soul just helps, like you probably attract animals just like you attract people. Animals know that they're safe with you. People may be like, oh, they bite, or oh, that cat's not nice. And they just like come over to you because they feel like you're their peeps. You have this opening energy that's like attracting everybody and everything to you. And then with soul name, I feel like you do again have like this higher mission and this purpose that you're helping to kind of imprint here. So with your energy, you're leaving your soul name, and again, it's that creative vision that you have to bring works of art to this world, and it can be in so many different ways, but it's like whatever you do, even if you're not intending to do it, your soul name is imprinted in it. So even if you wash a dish, that dish that you've washed, or the food that you cook, or whatever it is that you touch, even when you clean or you touch crystals, it's like everything you touch is getting imprinted with your soul name, and it's helping and it's helping and it's helping. But if you start to protect yourself more and set the intention and really use that creative gift that you have, I think you can really change things in your life. So you have a really beautiful energy, and I do feel like it's kind of this time for you right now to start empowering it a little bit more, empowering and protecting yourself a little bit more. But yes, and I feel like there's a lot of blue in your aura. Auras do shift. I've noticed that they don't always hold the same color, but you have a lot of blue and orange coming through, and a little bit of yellow. So I'm sure, you have like all of these energies. This kind of reminds me of like what it would look like, but with a little bit more blue energy like this. So I hope that this assisted you, and if it did, hit like. If it didn't, you can dislike. Either way, that will help me out. And again, thank you very much for all the subscribers that have joined and all the people who are supporting the channel. I am going to move on to pile number 2 at 1929. And we're going to find out what your energy, your aura, your soul, is like for other people. You have invoking the infinite and the Antakarana. The Antakarana is a grounding technique, like it's a grounding symbol. It's an ancient symbol. There's actually a male version, a female version. There's a lot of different parts, and they all do different things. I don't know exactly. I think this may be the male one, and it kind of just directs energy. But again, it's a grounding technique. When in the new paradigm, when I do the new paradigm, there's an Antakarana activation. And once you've had it, you like always remain kind of grounded. And I'm also seeing the Shikana energy here too. So the Shikana is a portal, and the Antakarana is a energy tool to it's like a tube of light that helps us to stay grounded. Invoking the infinite is an infinity symbol. So I feel like there's a lot of sacred geometry with you, like encoded into you. And it's like an infinite thing that you're expanding out through your aura, through your energy. And I feel like you're a healer, because you see the hands are here. It's like you're helping to ground and heal others. And then the DNA, I feel like there's a lot of sacred geometry encoded into your DNA. I feel like you probably have this powerful masculine energy within your aura, so it's like you're a powerhouse. Like if you were to give somebody a healing or whatever, they'd be like, holy crap, because it's just so intense, the energy that you share. And it may turn on at random times because it's an infinite thing. Like I feel like you're always running it, but sometimes it may just kind of kick on by itself and you're like, whoa. But you are a comforting presence for people. You know, you help people. So if you see somebody that's not doing well or whatever, just your like attention to it, I feel sends energy healing, and it's a powerful healing. And then with the Knight of Wands coming through, it's funny because when I was shuffling for this deck, I saw the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and then I got the Knight of Wands. So I do have the Six of Wands here too. Oh, and the Hierophant. Let me just look. And the Ten of Wands. Okay, so I feel like your aura is very like boom in your face. Okay, you have this like presence, like you walk in the door and everybody's like, whoa, but you have like this like larger than life energy. I feel like sometimes you may even be a little loud, or you just like, you're like the center of attention sometimes. If this isn't resonating for you, I would definitely pick another pile, but I feel like for some that are coming to this, you just have this presence. You may not scream or be like feeling that way, but when you walk into a room, people feel your energy, okay? So it's like, this is what we're talking about, your aura. So it's like, boom, it just kind of hits you. And I feel like you have this drive to succeed. With the Six of Wands, this is about being victory, in a place of victory and winning, you know? So it's like, whatever you're doing in life, you're at the top of your game, you know? You're always trying to get to the top. You're always overcoming these obstacles. I feel like there's some sneaky tricksters and the experiences that you've had to go through. And that's typical when you're a healer, because you attract people who need healing, and they're not always the best people to connect with. But I feel like you always come out on top. Like you always rise over any obstacles. You see through the bullshit of people. And you're always able to reach your victory with things. Then with the Hierophant and the Ten of Wands, I feel like this is a higher level spiritual thing that you're doing with your energy and your aura. Because the Hierophant is like that next level commitment that we take. And the Ten of Wands can be, you know, the wounded warrior, the person that has fought a lot of battles energetically. But it can also create a lot of burdens energetically. So I feel like you have had to fight a lot to get to where you are. And you continue to fight because there's this infinite light and this infinite power inside of you that you just keep going and you don't give up. Even when people try to take you down, it's almost like it just gives you that rage inside of you to keep going even further, just to prove people wrong. You know, you may not even want to do something, but if somebody says you can't, you're like, oh yeah? Watch me. You just have that approach to life. But you definitely have a higher calling, and I think part of these Ten of Wands energy is like that's the part that is difficult for you. Okay, you have to deal with all of these issues. You have to deal with these people coming towards you for healing, and you may even have things inside of yourself that need healing, so that you can continue to rise. And with the blue here, I feel like it may be connected to speaking your truth. You know, see here we have the sixth ray of devotion. Again, I feel like this is an element of you needing to align with this divine truth. You may sometimes feel crazy, or you may hold back like the insights that you have, or the things that you feel, or the words that you want to tell people, because you may feel a little awkward about it. But your energy says it for you. but you need to empower yourself to release any burdens, to speak the truth, and to, call people out when you see this stuff, because I feel like sometimes you allow people to get away with a little bit too much. You may not, engage in it, but you definitely need to sometimes speak up and call people out on their crap. I feel like, that's something you may struggle with. And it's because you see through everybody. So even your closest friends, you kind of just bite your tongue. But I think some people would benefit from that. But anyways, you have a devotion to your divine truth. And I feel like with trust in the divine plan, or trust in the plan, with number 13, you also have like this divine feminine energy inside of you that you need to ripple out and to help shift the truth of the collective. So it's not just your truth, it's the collective's truth. But when you start to do it, when you start to speak your truth, you're going to be the way shower or the assistance that is needed for others to infinitely express theirs. You see, all this energy is again connected to blue, and that's our throat chakra. I feel there's some sort of divine truth inside of you that really needs to be expressed through your voice. You have like the voice of a lion inside of you that needs to come out, and that's part of your divine plan. With purification, truth, and unity, again, I feel like you have probably a lot of purple or indigo in your energy, and you may have a third eye that's already awoken. You may have a lot of dreams, you may have a lot of visions, but if you're not seeing stuff yet, I feel like it's going to be turned on when you purify your soul, when you step into that truth. Again, you're seeing this element of blue, truth. You need to scream your truth. You need to speak it from the rooftops. And we have the moon here, so that's divine feminine energy. And then the unity, it also, like, all of this energy reminds me of the feminine aspects. And then we have the white hope. It's like you bring hope and unity to any experience that you go to. You're like the rose, you're like the rose and blooming on top of all of those thorns and those things, those difficulties that you had to unite within. And so if you haven't felt this way about yourself, this is where you're headed. But in order to get there, you need to start to purify your soul and your aura. I feel like some of you have already expressed your truth and you're continuing to rise, but some of you may be holding back on that, and you need to let it out so that your truth can purify your soul and purify your aura and, bring unity to the relationships around you. Because I feel like sometimes the fact that you're not expressing what should be said or what you feel should be said, is kind of keeping like part of your mission from being fulfilled. It's like you have insights inside of you that other people need to hear, and you have a healing presence in your voice. So if you channeled, you're like, for me, when I channel the Pleiadians, like through trance, my voice changes. And sometimes it even changes when I'm doing it like this, but I feel like there's a frequency inside of your channeling voice that will help to unite and purify others. So even if you don't speak your truth to other people in the beginning, writing down, like maybe writing something out that you feel is part of your plan, is part of your energy, needs to be spoken. It's part of your truth. Maybe people who have hurt you never said or spoke up about it. I feel like if you write it all down on a piece of paper and you were to speak it out loud, it would help to purify all of those energies around you. You also want to cut your cords and work on just healing, work on healing the throat chakra, connect with the water, connect with your emotions, connect with the fire to burn away any energies that were, maybe making you angry. Because again, I do feel like there's a fiery passion inside of you, but it doesn't always get to be expressed. When you start to empower and purify, your voice is going to want to roar, and people will listen. I feel like sometimes you don't say anything because you feel like they're not going to listen, or they're just going to dismiss what you have to say. But you have divine truth. You have you have an ability to see things and to help people so that you can change the course of like what's happening. You can help people to, stop themselves from making, crazy choices or doing things that they later regret. And you can help to unite the collective. And I feel like your divine feminine energy is here to kind of diffuse this power energy. So it's like you need to unite and come to a place within yourself that's kind of balancing these two aspects out. And when you do that, you're kind of setting the stage for others within the collective to do it themselves. And then we have soul song and manifestation. So again, look at that. With the soul song, that's what I was just talking about. There's something in your voice that is like holding energies and frequencies that needs to be expressed to the collective. You need to sing. You don't have to sing out loud. I mean, you don't even have to sing, but you need to express your voice. Some of you may express it through singing. I know that the energy in music, like the frequencies in certain music, can really help people to balance. So if you were to use solfeggio or a meditation designed, like a guided meditation for the throat chakra, that music can also help you. But you need to express your voice. You need to just speak things out loud. You need to sing. You need to write poems and then recite them. Like this is going to help you to help the collective, but it's going to purify you, and then it's going to ripple out to others to purify them, because you're infinitely grounding these energies and this consciousness through you. And it's also going to help you with manifesting. So you may think about things that you want, and I feel like when you speak about things, like if you were to say I have, it would be there like the next day. Like you have a powerful voice, and you need to start using it so that you can start manifesting changes into your life, and you can manifest the vibration of unconditional love into your life, so that you can attract the people that you feel comfortable and confident in this powerful energy, that aren't going to try to trick you or manipulate you or take you down, because I feel like you just have people who may be jealous of the abilities that you have to manifest and be in a place of victory, but you're living like this much of it, where you could be living this much of it, and you can have so much more into your life because you have this infinite gift. So you really want to tap into that and start expressing that truth inside of you, because I feel like it's really going to help you. Yeah, you're here to like ripple this out. And again, sacred geometry, do some work with sacred geometry. Maybe draw or paint this. I sometimes do like channeled artwork, where I will set the intention to bring energy and frequency of a specific thing into what I'm creating. And anytime I do it, it works, whether it's a candle or a painting or a guided meditation or this, whatever. It's like when you set that intention and you trust and you use your voice and you just speak because like, I don't know you people, but I just speak what I feel. And a lot of times it's on point and sometimes it's not, but I feel like I attract a majority of more people who need the messages than those who don't. So if you go in with that confidence that's inside of you, that people have tried to take away from you, and you separate yourselves from anything or anybody that is in that energy, you purify your field, you're going to rise up into an amazing place of abundance. And then you're going to help the collective, because you're going to be rippling it out, and everything touches each other. So every person you connect with, and every person they connect with, and every person they connect with, you know what I mean? And everything that you share or speak, that those words will ripple out as well through the energies and frequencies. Anything that you do is going to have that impact. So you want to start doing it with the intention to shift the collective, to sing your soul song, and to manifest the abundance that you deserve and the healing that you deserve, and then be that way shower to bring it to the collective. So I hope that this assists you. If it did, hit like. If it didn't, hit dislike. Either way, it will help me out to find others who may resonate with these messages. And thank you again to all who have subscribed, all who have joined the channel. If you would like a private reading or anything like that, all the information is down below. But I'm going to move on to number 3 at 3311. All right. So we're going to do the labradorite pile, and we're going to find out like what your energy, your aura, your soul is holding for energies, like what it says about you. We have wise friend and DNA. So immediately when I saw that, I feel like you may have actually had a lifetime where you were a tree. Or you could just hold that type of energy, like you stand tall and your branches reach out to the divine energy, like you grab the light, the moonlight, the sunlight, and you soak it in through your branches, and then down and below you're like really grounded and rooted into the earth. So you may have this, like, you just love nature, you love trees, you love the flowers, you love the bees, you love everything about nature. There may not be animals that you're too keen about, but it's like you have respect for them, like you don't want to kill them. You have this wisdom inside of you, something something about you that just stands up straight and is present in a way that a lot of people don't have, you know. And I feel like you could just have a confidence about you that attracts people to you, and they you know, maybe praise you and give you all these compliments and things, but you're probably kind of like, you don't understand. But I feel like you have confidence too, but sometimes it may be like a little bit too much. You may feel like people are overdoing it, but there is something about you that just puts people in awe. So some of them may not say anything at all. Some of them may get kind of triggered by it. They may not like you just because of that power. And others, I feel like, would kind of just want some of that energy. So they come around you and they're like, oh my God. And then the DNA, again, I feel like you hold DNA of like nature inside of you. You may even have like a fairy type of energy where you believe in that type of fairy energy. You probably have like some of you may have fairy gardens. And if you don't resonate with this, pick another pile. But this to me feels like somebody that's really, you know, in alignment with their mission to help the earth, and that their DNA holds a lot of coding and frequency that kind of like expands out, like your aura when you go outside just gets brighter and brighter, and you just feel at peace because you're more grounded. It's like you probably like to take off your shoes and socks and feel the grass beneath your feet. You like to put your hands into the dirt. You just like to look at like the calmness of water. You love all different types of trees and flowers and things like that. And I really feel that you were either like that energy of a fairy in a past life or an actual tree in a past life, but it's definitely encoded in your DNA. So you're like a rainbow warrior. And your aura may even have a lot of different colors, but I'm feeling there's a lot of green because your heart has that unconditional love in it. And, you know, I'm sure there's times where you don't love things unconditionally, but overall you have this calming, strong presence, and you exude that unconditional love to the earth and to the nature, and you soak up the unconditional love of Pachamama, of Gaia, of the trees. Like you just have this give and take with energy of the forest and of the earth. Then we have the Two of Wands, the High Priestess, the Moon, and the Queen of Cups. So this is perfect for what I was just saying. So again, with the Two of Wands, I feel like this is usually about making a choice. I feel like this is two things. Like I feel like sometimes you may have that thing where you really think about what you're going to do. You know, you're not somebody that just flies off the handle and does crazy stuff. I mean, you may be spontaneous and you just want to run out into the woods and take a walk or whatever, or hike. But when it comes to like big decision making, you weigh everything out. You have that wisdom inside of you. And I also feel that when people are trying to make decisions, they may ask you for advice on what they should do because they feel that wisdom. They trust what you have to say. We've got all these owls here. It's like you see the full spectrum of things, and you give them insights that they never would have thought of. So it's like you've risen up through all those lifetimes. I feel like it's just encoded in you. So you may just look at things with a higher perspective, and people ask you something and you're like, oh no, don't do that because X, Y, and Z. And they're like, wow, I never even thought of that. And if you were to think about it, you may be like, well, I never did either, but it just comes out of you. You just have that way of channeling on the spot and having that wisdom inside of you because you do have this high priestess energy. And with the moon, I feel like you also have this like mystery about you. So when people see you in your aura, you have like that high priestess energy. You know, you have this mystery that, you know, people want to know a little bit more. They feel like you have secrets to the universe that they don't have. And again, that's why they may come to you to help them with their choices. And I think that's why you go within and really study before you make decisions on things. You know, it's like you believe in the mystical, you believe in the magic, but you also have a logical side about you because you're grounded. And so, you know, you want to look at things and you may approach it a little bit differently than somebody else. Like with the fairies, it's like, you know, like you have a respect for it, but you know, it's different, you know, other people may be a little bit more into it than you would be because you have that level of, you know, being here on earth and knowing that things exist, but it's like you're not out there like searching for it because it exists inside of you at some point. You just have that inner wisdom. But again, there's this energy, this airy mystery that people see. And I feel like you may have a lot of silver in your aura as well. So there's that green energy. There is a like rainbow around you, but I feel like you have the green that like emits from your heart, but then you have this silvery, white, bluish tone, kind of like this.
that just like goes around like the top and the bottom of you. And then here you have the Queen of Cups. She's like all that unconditional love. So again, you exude this unconditional love through your heart space. But you have higher wisdom, you have higher knowledge, and you have this mystery about you. You know, the divine feminine, the dark, the shadow, the moon. I feel like you may be one of those people who likes to go outside at night to connect with nature. The stars, you know, they bring you peace. You probably do have a lifetime within the stars as well. Or even Egypt. I feel like you may identify with the Egyptian energy or the Atlantean energy. It's like you just have a soul that has been here on earth many times, but you had a higher purpose when you were here. But you also have a connection to like Isis and to Sirius. I feel like there's a Syrian energy with you. You may identify with other starseed traits and things like that, but I do feel that Syrian energy coming through with the unconditional love and the water, you know, the emotions and the moon. It's like you have that divine feminine high priestess, Isis, you know, kind of connection. And then here you got the owl. So you may connect with different goddesses at different times. I feel like when the moon is full, you're in one energy. When the moon is new, you're in a different energy. Like you're really in tune with the cycles and the energies of Earth. And this is all exuding from your aura. And so people want to know. It's like they want you to help them with their decisions. They want to know what you know. And I feel like when you leave a person or you walk away, they kind of just still wonder about you. They think about you. They think about that energy that you brought to them. And then we have ether, center, and presence. So again, it's like you have that tree energy where you connect above and below, but you're centered, you're present. So it's like you're here, but you're tuned in up above. And then you have all this like magenta energy. So I think your third eye is very awoke, and you probably have your soul star energy too that's really present. I feel like your soul star is where all that information is from that high priestess moon energy, and it's like you just grab it and bring it down into your consciousness when you need it, and then you like give it to others. And no matter what you've experienced, you've always risen out of it centered and balanced. You know, you always stay present no matter how much darkness has been in your life. And again, you just have this magical presence. And I feel like you are magic. It's like you may think about something, or you know, it's like whatever you think about happens within a few minutes. Like you may think about a person and then they call you, or you think somebody's going to ask you something and then they do. You know, it's like you're just really tuned in with claircognizance. It's like your crown is open. You just know. And that's again why people ask you for help, because you just know. You may not know it consciously, but your subconscious is like programmed. Your soul star energy is like jammed with information above you. And so it's like you can just retrieve it and bring it down. And identity, I feel like you're strong in who you are. You know, you don't let people take you off of that. You may have in the past, but I feel like you've risen through that. And if you haven't yet, you will. You know, you're going to have that strong identity. You're not going to apologize for who you are. You have that strong presence of the tree. I feel like when you were younger, or if you are younger, you may not have been so strong in your identity. But as you go through life and as you realize how much mystery is inside of you, how much knowledge you hold, you may be more present within that identity of yours that's strong and powerful, and you don't want to change it or be conditioned through society. You just hold your own. You're not going to allow that other energies or other people to influence it in a negative way. And we have color and variance. So this is going along with like what I was saying. I think that your aura isn't just one color. I feel like you have that rainbow around you. I think predominantly right now, at least, you had that silvery stuff that was above you and down below you with the green. But I feel like depending on how you feel, what you need to do, where you are, you can actually shift and identify with different things. And it's like a magical energy. Again, you just connect with that soul star, that ether energy, consciousness, and you bring it down. You bring all of these different variables into your aura, and you're bright and you're colorful. You're a rainbow warrior here on earth. Look at that. You're like the rainbow bridge. So you're bringing the rainbow bridge down to the collective. You're a rainbow warrior. And you may connect with the Native American energy and things like that, which again is connected to starseed energy. So it's like you have the star origins inside of you, but you have the earth origins inside of you. You have the presence of the tree, but the light of a light worker. You have the emotions of the Syrians. You have the power of the the Lyrans. It's like you just have it all inside of you. So you may be a rainbow child or have a lot of traits connected to that, or you may actually give birth to a rainbow child. So, if you don't know about those, I would Google like the rainbow child characteristics and see if it identifies with you. But make sure you're tuning into this stuff, because this is like there's so much available to you. Look at this fourth ray of harmony. I was going to say you have so much available above you, and his like boom, boom. You can just be a powerhouse of channeling. You have an infinite connection to share with unconditional love. There's all of this wisdom that's like just there waiting you to tap into it. And it's part of your identity. And it is like fueled by unconditional love for yourself, and, tapping into the magic that you may have, at one point been more into. Maybe you dulled it out a little bit and then you kind of woke back up. I feel like you shift with it. It's like sometimes you're more grounded and present, and other times you're more like boom in your face with your magical energy and your consciousness. But there's definitely a lot of secret and wisdom inside of you to connect with, and I feel like you need to start making that decision to really embody that and ripple that out, because this is what you're meant to do. So start, maybe automatic writing or channeling. Sorry, that's Alcyone. She is a star baby from Syria. She's from Pleiades. But yeah, this is what your aura is like. It is very beautiful. It is bright. So I hope that this assists you. If it did, hit the like. If you didn't like it, you can dislike it. Either way, that helps me to find people who may resonate with the messages better. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link down below. If you'd like to send a deck, there's an Amazon wish list down there as well. If you'd like a private reading or any of the services that I offer, you can check out the things that are listed in the description box. And other than that, I hope that you have a beautiful day. In MUNAY, namaste.